Okay, test, test. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Okay, looks good, looks good. I think you guys will be able to hear me now. All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna wait till everybody jumps in here. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hi, Anna. Anna, can you guys hear me? Awesome. Yanni, you guys can hear me. Beautiful. Beautiful. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. All right. So, VINO Friday. Surprise, surprise. Woo. Surprise, you all. Hi, this is Lily Kolosova, and this is VINO Fridays. It's back. I decided to do a little Back to the Future live video and do a VINO Friday surprise for you guys. So anyway, it's Friday. I am having a lot of fun. It's great day. It's beautiful life. Thank you, daughters. Thank you, Anna. Truth and empowerment. Thank you for being here. That's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today is truth and empowerment. But in order for us to go there, we kind of need to figure out the root cause of all of the things that's going on in our reality. So the reason I titled this Confessions of a Mystic, because my journals, you guys, from a couple of years ago, the ones that ended, journals ended abruptly on September 2nd of 2020. So, and then I went on a totally different path and did a totally different thing. And since I always said that I'm a human consciousness investigator, so I went into an investigative field and I did what I needed to do for my soul journey. So that's why I'm going to overall today talk about a little bit in a fun way about the soul mechanics, okay? So this is because that had always been our conversation about the soul mechanics and how it operates and how it creates time. Okay. So happy Friday, everyone. Here's to all of you. I do appreciate each and every one of you that is here. Join me today for this live Confessions of a Mystic on this beautiful Friday in my art studio. So thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you, daughters, for appreciating. I appreciate you as well, because this work, for those of you that are on this master quest, love you too, Danielle. Love you too, guys. And I love you. Salute, Bella. Salute to all of you guys for doing the individual work. Pushing that snowball of your personal experience up the mountain. Because that's what I kind of been using that metaphor. Thank you. Thank you, daughter, for missing me. I miss you guys all too. I miss you all so much. And when you go through this intense sort of transformation, because that's what it is, we're constantly, it's death and rebirth and all of that. And my path is always, I go into the cycles where my mission as okay, I don't like that word, but let's call it that, for the collective, so to speak, it was always to apply my own personal experience. And that's ever been since 2013 or 2014, when I first started talking about this type of subjects. And I started talking about it in a spiritual community, but of course, we are dealing with a lot of infiltration. And this is why I even talk today, and I want to talk to you guys about that and bring this up today in that conversation I had with Og and Alicia good few years back. And we talked about the living heart grid and how it operates and how it pushes out all of that illusionary belief systems out through the personal experience. And that personal experience is that transformation and transmutation. But for the masters, for those of us that came into this reality to master it, we go through it constantly. It's just death and rebirth, death and rebirth, because we're aligning to the original organic grid of Earth, the real Earth, the one with the heart, or the heart grid of the Earth, because this is the original intent of the planet for this reality. Then all of these parasitic structures that overlay it is what we ultimately come to master, to overcome it. And this is why each master that is worshipped on this planet is the one that individually mastered this reality. This is what the whole master quest is about, is individually. Because like I was saying a few years back, once you get to the top of the mountain, and you stand there in neutrality, then you can see which way. Yes, daughters, bioregenesis, that's we, because, and this is why I use that Irene's quote about our genetics, because I've been referring to us. Yes, this is bioregenesis. It's we are biocomputers in a way, because in this world today, in this terminology, actually, technology helps us to understand this whole thing a little bit better. So we can understand we are like living biocomputers but we stand in eternity. That's the human blueprint. And so anyway, so here's to that. So the bioregenesis is the process of the turning into butterflies. So the soup part, it goes through. But for me, my sort of big part is because the importance of the land in aligning human consciousness, the totality of human consciousness, or collective of human consciousness, is in how to rebalance or heal or close demonic portals. And that, I mean, I've used those terms, and those of you that do study demonology, they know that, you guys know that, like, even the master Christ had to experience that interaction with demonic world. So you have to master that as well. So you got to understand both the positive and the negative sides of reality in order to be a master. And you got to understand that you as an eternal being, then you take responsibility, as I used to say in the past, or meaning you are in totality, you understand. And in the past, when all this sort of, how you would say, when I used to talk about this, I used to sort of expose a lot of fake people out there in alternative media. I mean, that's what I did. So I got a lot of attacks, and to this day, my YouTube is completely shadow banned. So Hey, Teresa! Yay! Hey, you did caught me live. Hey, VINO Friday. Hey, welcome, darling. Welcome. So anyway, but when I talked about mastering the past, I talked about individuals. So I talked about my experience because I did say in the past that everything I do is my individual path. I'm just sharing with you guys. I'm just sharing it. And this is no difference. This channel here on YouTube is for entertainment purposes only. So welcome to VINO Friday. But I do want to say that expansion is a must. So we definitely going to be expanding into the different thing because we're at that point to where that in that the living greater through our hearts as human beings. I mean, we just been through Zeus, you okay, boo? Sorry, Zeus has been coughing a little bit lately, so all right, it's all good. All right, you guys. So breaking through the checkerboard mutation. Absolutely. So that checkerboard thing. my friends here, my special friends have retarded, must have graduated from Harvard. My special friends. Yeah, Zeus is almost 17 years old, so he's doing okay, but he's getting there. All right, Zeus. Are you good? Okay, lay down, relax, relax. Yes, so I am an entertainer on YouTube because it's for entertainment purposes only. But everything what I've shared in and which was I mean everything that included to my very last journal that I did. So as since this is confessions, I may as well do the confessions, right? So anyway, the way I spent this last 1,000 days dealing with this sort of three-headed demon of this people that have the religion that's the secret religion that holds the power over the human consciousness is the or as those of you who knows Christianity would say that this is the spirit of Antichrist. Okay, and so it's that, or some would say it's a three-headed demon, or the one with the goat head and the bull head and with the tail of the snake. And so it's a snake, the bull. So it's the greed, all of that, those people that the possession, the infection, the root of infection. Okay. So this is why when you pass through that metamorphosis on individual level, you gain a whole different perspective on your own experience on the top of the mountain. You look at how easy it is to recognize the infection in the collective level, and this is what makes you master. But until you get there, you going all the way from the bottom, and you picking up all of your karma up, and you rolling it with you, because what happens on the other side once you roll that down the hill, the power of your individual mastery multiplies thousandfolds, because that's the law. So now you have the power to heal ancestral line or your DNA, or you can say you can recode your DNA at that level. So we're basically accessing through mastery, Teresa, we're basically through self-mastery, we're basically experiencing ancestral healing. So my past 1,000 days, what had happened is, it's like rolling the time backwards, but it's on an ancestral level. So and this is why I'm talking about this is the quantum leap, that we now have understanding through quantum mechanics how it is possible to make quantum leaps in consciousness. And this is what I'm talking about, that butterfly effect, that we turn from soup in the cocoon into a butterfly. How is it possible? Okay. How is it possible? We understand how is it possible, except we understand that on our individual level as a human, as a universal being embodied in the human being, operating on human consciousness in this reality. So that's basically what the Christed consciousness means. And this is your pyramid. This is your Christed consciousness is reaching the individual top, or accessing the invisible realm. And this is why the pyramid doesn't have the top. Okay. Because our top chakra does not have physical. It's above our head. All right. And this is why a parasitic. So you can see now, and when you get to the top of the mountains, or you can fly now and not crawl, speaking if in this human representation, you go through this transmutation. And so this is the master's quest. That's what you go through. So in the last 1,000 days, and how this is the art of alchemizing your own energy. And this is where it becomes very, very difficult to talk about, because we have so much of that. This is where sort of the very dark meets the very light side of human consciousness. And so this is why, like, Christ went for 40 days. It took me 1,000 days, but hey, here we go. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Whew. Beautiful feeling of freedom to be standing on the top of the mountain and see and like having a totally different perspective on this reality, on your experience. Because basically what I've done through going through this is I have pulled and pushed up this mountain all of my ancestral stuff. And now it's going to be unraveling down the hill. And what I picked up on the way, oh boy, did I picked up a lot. A lot of baggage. Now I'm going to take all of it. Just like I said last time. Anyway, I'm going to take all of it. I'm going to take all the evidence you provide me with of your abuse. I'll take it all. And I'll take it to a next level and I'll use it against you. I'll roll it the other way around. Because that's what I do. I slay the bitch. That's why I came here. I told you long time ago. Long time ago. Years ago. I was talking about this. So I don't have any, like you guys said in the last comments. Yeah. I slay the bitch. I'm not here to join in with you. No, you can't trick me. Because that what carried me through everything. I've been dead so many times. I know where my life force come from. I know where my breath, the source of my breath, I'm anchored in it. This bitch came into my life to wanted to disconnect me from that. Try that again. Try it again. Let's see what happens. Anyway, so a lot of people are going through some really weird stuff right now, right? Some really weird investigations going on. A lot of weird stuff showing up on the world scale, right? Like the masks things are over, the diapers are what? Are gone, I guess. Yanni, thank you. You said your lightness reflects your mastery of the dark. Thank you. Really does. I was surprised of how much I was seeing of the darkness and all of it and just being neutral through the whole thing. Like when they put me in that car, like I told you guys, it was a drive for about 30 minutes to the jail. And I mean, I went into this serenity state that I never experienced before. I knew that all of my ancestors were right there with me. Each and every one of them were right there. There was no way in or no way out of my sort of, however you want to call it. It's just that knowing I've been through so many experiences like that. Like it's like that I've been through that rebirth in the past so many times. I literally, my first near death experience is at 6 years old. And that's just the first one. But there is a reason for each and everything. There is just like what it says in the Bible. There's even every each and hair. It's in that quantum field. There's no, like, nothing is nothing. So it's just a lot more than nothing. Just the same is like it's about your DNA. You restructure your DNA by realizing that you are all of the ancestors that lived before you. You are it. And that's been said so many times in so many different ways, but you are it. And so to have the understanding that, and not like, and yes, a lot of that the very negative, or the very sort of the effect of the Antichrist programming. Let's just say that. We all kind of can, relate to, or since Bible has been so like entwined into our life, let's be biblical. Why not? Why not? It talks about that it just, whenever the faith, and once you experience that and you go through it, you can recognize stuff. And this is why I said, even I'm not saying all the people in the Bible, they've attached themselves to that Antichrist programming, which is funny because the Christ originally came to show them how to break it, how to break that attachment to the program of the Antichrist. Because didn't he said that it was already here on that time? Didn't he go and kick some tables at the synagogues that was at each corner? Welcome to America. There's a church on each corner. 10% of your money. Come on. That's their God. That's their God. So if you don't see the same sort of program repeating itself, but Christ mastered it in which way? That right. So what they do is the Antichrist then, because what they did, and they projected that the blood sacrifice on the grid, and they did it on the ley lines, as you say, Teresa, because you understand what's going on here. So this is why I said my mission is to free the land of this black magic blood sacrifice thing. So God sends me to the land where there has been blood sacrifice, and then I have to work with the land. And this is what I've done in the last 1,000 days as well. And this is why I had to encounter the religious structure, because it was the land that was taken over by the religious structure, an entity, and there's an entity that possesses the land, and it siphons the land. Originally, they built the buildings on it to siphon the land. And this has to do with all the rituals that's been done in America ever since they've been trying to anchor that bitch in here. No. Mm-mm. Constitution of the United States is an agreement with the land. And this is what humanity and every American should figure that shit out for themselves. You're welcome, Americans. The religious structure that I had to deal with is because it's my ancestral wisdom. It has to do with the New Age. So I encounter a New Age demons here. Those are the with the 3 inches coke nails that they go and then meditate and contact entities, and then go on the pedestal and tell everybody else stolen teachings. But they need to snort a couple of coke lines in order to go and teach New Age teachings and tell everybody that they should listen to Goyam TV. When I was like, oh God, here I am. It was funny. I say, if there is ever a movie made about my life, it would be a dramedy, because it's so freaking funny. I'm like, No way, Jose. Am I right here dealing with the new agers that's snorting coke and then contacting the coke entity for advice and then teaching everybody through that? It's like, oh my God, what do I do? So what I did is I realized that I had a lot of healing to do, and then there was children there on the midst of it. And this is what I totally refocus, and this is why I had to totally refocus on the effect of these abuses on children. So this is what my main sort of thing was. So I went totally undercover into the New Age community just to document the abuse of children on all levels. Because this group teaches sexual liberation of their children. The land that I was guided to come in to work with and free of this abuse is connected to these people. Their religion, but you have to be, of course, a proper degree in order to understand that. Secret, because it's all based on secrets. Their religion gives them the right to sexually liberate their children. They have to do it. So, imagine what I was dealing with. Yes, the switcheroo thing, it's all to keep that grid anchored because they need more and more and more because it's a never ending pit hole of hell. Exactly what it is. But they just and I mean and so what they give me access to by attempting to kind of like put their veil over my thing, they was trying to steal my intellectual property, and then what my spirits had, because I needed to get to know the land to in order to do my thing, whatever I needed to do there. I'm also a shaman. I'm in contact with the land, and I stay there and I go there for as long as I need to. And when I feel and when I'm guided to do something, I do it. So the last time I went there, but basically all of that group has become part of group that um, had, let's just say, wanted to steal my whole destiny. They didn't want to just my intellectual property, which I developed because of the kids. What I needed to, I saw immediate the abuse on the kids, and then when the children themselves asked me to do an art class, I developed a whole program and immediately got all of the equipment with my own money. Not a penny from any of them. Everything with my own money. Got all of the equipment, created a class, and started doing classes. And the children, the healing that we went through, and those children are the ones that started the change on that land. Their little feet. Because I took them bare feet. In the class, we do drawing classes on outside on the land and all of that stuff. Their beautiful hearts needed to heal the land, because what had happened on that land, Max Heindel, a New Ager originally from, I think he bought that land in 1911, I think. And so he was there, and I believe it was 1940s or maybe early 50s is when there was an ritual performed, and he basically had like a religious structure now there, and there was a land and everything. So this is what right now is the Rosicrucian Fellowship in California and Oceanside City. So look it up. It's a Mount Ecclesia. That's the land. So I actually did work with hypnotherapy and all of that stuff. The other side, the spiritual side, I did investigation too. So many sessions it took to do the spiritual investigation in what's been happening there. And in order to, and the other side is doing the classes, the art classes in the face of this people. I mean, literally, they were so, oh my God, these people need so much healing. The people in church, they would interrupt my classes on purpose. They would bring their black magic into things. The envy was just so, oh my God, it's just so disgusting. These people are so disgusting, jealous of children, envious of children being happy in the class. So they do test children. They psychologically abuse them just because they don't feel, I mean, what I've seen. And then because I am always undercover, I'm always undercover. So, I don't know. How could you be in your right mind to think that your 3-inch coke nail and nobody gonna see it? And you stand on a pedestal pretending to be Christian preacher. Come on, dude. Bro. Bro, come on. Come on, bro. I mean, come on. I'm telling you guys, the level of intelligence is so low that it's just like, whoa. I felt bad at first, like having this, like laughing at it, because the people are so, because hurt people hurt others. So, but at the same time, I needed to see it and watch what happens. Hey, Ramus. Good to see you too, Ramus. Here's to you. Thank you for coming back. It's like, and then, and then they do their little things, and then I let them threaten me with the police, with the mayor, with everything. They took all of my equipment that I bought. I have receipts for it. I can sue them if I wanted to. It's just, it's the level of disgusting things that happen. It's a trap house. The members are texting me about doing trips to Mexico and all of that stuff, pills. I mean, everything. There's, I'm like, Oceanside police, how many accidentals, overdoses have been happening on this land? Because I understand that some of these people are, how Harvard half retarded, must have graduated from Harvard, know how to plan accidents, right? They plan accidents, planned overdoses, planned this, planned that, and all of that because their constitution says that they have to protect each other's secrets, because if they don't, the first degree Masons know that their throat's going to be cut. Aren't you going to protect all the secrets? Aren't you just going to be a pedal club protection services because you don't want your throat to be cut? Yeah, welcome to a first degree Masonry. Opa, congratulations. You just signed your death contract. You joined the death cult. Congratulations. You got your first degree. So, second is they take their heart out. And the 33rd degree eats it in front of everybody else. Oh, but oh well, then they're carrying Bible with them. They have their special own Bible. They put their little stamp on it. Have retarded. Must have graduated from Harvard. No, nice, not satanic at all. Not satanic at all. All right, you guys. So 41 minutes in. Here's my confessions. Okay, so I'm like, okay, let's see what happens next. So, but anyway, but it's definitely, it's ancestral sort of things that had to come into all kind of crisscrossed in my reality. And this is why I am feeling so humbled by this experience, that I went through so much abuse. I mean, I got accused of, literally, they accused me 72 days later, which is totally against the law, which is totally like, I mean, it's all on record, totally. They accused me of Russia collusion because they didn't have anything else. They couldn't convince me of their, and you guys, the clownish accusations, it is the comedy. You will not believe it. What they did is like they used their own things. They came and took a picture. You know me, I threw eggs on Willie's car because Willie's car was blocking the road into the complex, into apartment complex. And then they took a pictures of it. And they thought that they're going to use that against me, and they're going to present that as a probable cause for arrest, which I said to attorney, excusez-moi, I don't need to be that stupid to understand that there is no probable cause for that. You should have issued me a ticket. I was only trying to get into like city level. I wasn't ready yet for the county level. I was in the little town of Lafayette. I was like, let me see what's happening here. But in order for me to know what's happening, I have to experience something. So I have to experience it. So I'm like, I'm out there with the camera filming their crimes. So I got them all. I read a lot, a lot of pages on all city levels, every level. I didn't miss anything, just in case. Health department, building department, real estate, everyone. I like everything, just boom, 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 and like, okay. So first I record their crimes and their admissions of crimes and all of that stuff, and then they come in and they help me because the police came and took their own pictures of their own crime. And in their statements, that the co-workers said that I'm such a bad person because I threw an egg on Willie's car. But in that picture, you can see and measure there that Willie was actually blocking the road. And then in their statements, they admitted that Willie's been parking there for a month. But Willie's been blocking the road into 200 plus units, endangering the lives of thousands of people because Willie did not want to park a few feet away in a parking spot and park right in the middle of the road because it was close to his construction site. So Willie did not like the sunshine that I put on his car. It was like a sunshine. I threw an egg and it was like a piece of sunshine on his. And so he didn't like the sunshine. Willie don't like sunshine. But the actual discovery that they presented to the Bob Mueller wannabe was actually an evidence that Willie's been parking unlawfully, and there is a sign says no parking. And then that his truck was blocking the road, and there's a picture of the whole road, and you can measure it that if an ambulance or a fire truck need to get through, they would not be able to. Because if they would knock down the water thing and destroy the whole water thing because they will have to go over the thing. So they came in, took their evidence of their own crimes, Lafayette City Police. How puffy pastry do you have to be in order to come in and take pictures of your own crimes, and that you've been protecting this and been threatening me coming to my home and threatening me for telling Willie not to endanger over 1,000 people, residents in the community. This is what they tried to set me up with. They didn't realize that they were showing to me that they were taking their own crimes, records of their own crimes. I mean, how not half retarded are you? And then the first attorney just goes on record telling me that, oh, it doesn't matter that I didn't have probable cause. But don't worry, literally, I'm good friends with Bob Mueller wannabe. I'll get you a deal. I said, I don't want a deal. There is no deal here. All you have to do is file dismissal papers. That's what I'm paying you for. $3,000 right there, right here. Just file a dismissal. No probable cause. He comes back to me 3 weeks later and presents a deal. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is this United States of Soviet Union? What the fuck? United States of Soviet Union. Then he threatens me, telling me that if I don't agree, I'm gonna go to jail for 5 years. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? How am I gonna record all this? How am I gonna do all this? How am I gonna get all this on record? Such violations. I mean, treason and everything. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening next? I am like, oh, my journalist self was like, oh no shit. Expose. Here we go. The clown planet. That's exactly what it is. So it's just like, whoa. And here comes the low budget torture judge. Here comes the patent prescriptions only doctor. Here it comes, the limited intelligence agencies. Oh boy. And then because I told the lawyer, no. And you know what? He dropped me. Just took the $3,000 for nothing. I'm like, okay. So, and then here we go. Then I go, okay, let's see. Let's see how I can do and get the judge to go on record with her crimes. Oh boy, did I get her to talk in transcripts. Or did I get her to incriminate herself? Low budget torture judge? Oh, you had no idea. She had a diaper on her face, not enough oxygen to her brain. Perfect timing, divine timing. Yes. See, I took that all because now I can deliver the karma for my ancestors. On behalf of my ancestors, I'm going to deliver the karma to the government that is Soviet States of America, that kind of government. Yeah, yeah. I ain't keeping it quiet. That's the government. It's the Soviet States of America government right now. So I've got enough evidence to get this bitch hold. They give me so much rope. Whew. Cartoonish, exactly. Mm. All right, you guys, 50 minutes. Let me see if I think there was some questions in there. Anybody has questions? So that's basically pretty much, this is my confessions of a mystic. So basically what I was doing is I was um, transmuting my ancestral karma. So that's what I was doing. And it involved all of that because, believe it or not, I go deep. I go a long time ago. So those of you that know, I am who I am, and I love it being me. And because nobody can be me, because people that are jealous, they have no idea the kind of hardship I have to go through in order to transmute my ancestral stuff and to come back and say, all right, I know now that I've done everything I can to heal my ancestral, my bloodline, and to restructure my own DNA. Because freedom is something you, and this is why I was saying that American land has to be freed first. And this is why I do that on the spiritual level first. And this is why I've been exposing the New Age program all this time. Because all of that is stolen from the originals, which is ta-da, moi, moi. All right? So, in particularly the land that I was working here, it had a lot to do with my ancestral stuff. So, and for each and every one of you, you have your own path. And so your road, if you're envious of mine, I don't wish this upon my enemies. But if you want to be my friend, do it for you. Do it for your bloodline. And so what I've done at that land, I've had closed. It's no longer up to me. I released the vampire spirit. I transmuted it through myself, and I let it all go. And it was funny because the last class that I had with children there, and this is what I never came back to them because they kicked me out. But before they kicked me out, I already knew that it was my last time because I actually, without knowing it, pretty much performed the cleansing ceremony. I walked out there with my bare feet, wet feet, because I washed it all off. And I walked out of that land and let God. But my last art class that we did, one of the students, we did kind of sort of free of, because we kind of all knew, because the children talked to me about what they were seeing on the spiritual level as well, what was happening. We were battling in the spiritual level, the whole classes. There was, I mean, it was literally an entities after us for creating joy on that land. There's just so much suffering in there that we had to rebalance it in order to transmute it. And so this is the art of transmuting. But the with children, it's easy because their hearts are open to art. So through art is a lot of healing. And this is why I developed those courses, and those children are my teachers on how to teach the course, because those children that asked me to do that class is actually in a way are the ones who are brought that land into healing mode, sort of, and turned it around. And then I just finished it off with closing sort of the thing. And the other thing, I at some point I will talk about the importance of the portal, that is the location of this place, and so, and why things done the way they are done. And these are the things that I will be probably talking about on a different platform. Like I said last time, children are very powerful, and that's daughter. That's exactly why I refer you guys, very powerful and children. And this is why, like Og, those of you that know Og, um, he talks about how the children are used also to project their reality. So this is the other side of the coin about the children. So of course, children that are in the state of um, being in joy of their being, and this is what ultimately the course that I developed is for, to generate that state, and then just expanded. And so we started only with 3 children. I started with 3 children. By the time it was class number 5 or 6, I had like probably 12 by that time. And so the last one that we left it, and I set it up in the way to where you come in into the room, you see that right in the middle. And one of my students, Emily, I mean, she knew exactly, and each of those paintings had represented all of this different sort of healing processes. And she wrote just 2 simple words: be light. And I was right in the center of all of the art that was on display. And then this thing came and completely closed things down. I kicked the children out and closed my classes because they didn't like the joy that I allowed children to have. Children were not allowed to experience joy on that land. It is there to do that, and this is why they got all so confused and they went after my life. And they wanted my destiny. This is what happened, and this is what they already tried it, and this is what they did with Max Heindel. So when those of you know, he's the New Ager. So they're using his teachings to control others. So, and to sort of to use that as a cover, because his teachings are actually teach a lot of quantum physics type of stuff. And so then when they try to do when they try to have this entity embody and in his body, it just blew his heart. So his heart exploded. That was the cause of his death. His heart exploded. That's why he died. And after that, the whole thing turned into a thing. They kicked his wife out of there, and the New Age Limited Intelligence Agency took over. And sort of they belittle in a way they use Max's teachings, but at the same time, they belittle the teachings. They belittle him because they kind of blame him for not surviving that. They look at him as a weakling, that he didn't survive because they embody that entity. They don't embody it fully, but they wanted, because they wanted this entity to take over Max Heindel's intellectual powers, but he was too strong for it. And so he just would not allow it. His spirit would not allow it. And so anyway, that's okay. It's 1 hour. So you guys, who competes with children, daughter, people possessed by entities and demons? That's who compete, because they cannot, it's the opposite of innocence. It's all the sins, embodies all their thing. First they triggers them, then it's like, this is what the master is all about, and they're too weak. And then what in future, what I will go a little deeper into the programming, because like I said, my handler wannabe, who pretended to be my boyfriend for the last 5 years, well, it's been over a year since he's couldn't handle and my handler couldn't handle my handler couldn't handle the predictions that I predicted for him. So he ran because he participated in things that he shouldn't have against me. And I told him that if he ever does, he's going to pay for it dearly. So he ran because he thought it was me who's making his body decompose. No, bitch. You shouldn't have participated in the death rituals, bitch. That's why your body is decomposing while you're still breathing. So, but I will go into that whole dynamic of why the abuse of children. It's because what the seeding with entities is, and those daughters. Well, it was all set up. I had no way out, and I knew, and it was like the moment I saw it coming, I knew exactly what it is, and then I knew it that I need to see what it is for what it is, because there's something that has to do with my ancestral stuff, and it's definitely is. It's that very bloodline. And so I show you the evidence. Here it is. It's not like I am member. Dark priest. That's who he mostly is. Anyway, so harvesting vampires, energy vampires. So I needed to study in order to see the infection in its totality. Let's just say that. And so I learned quite a bit, a lot of valuable stuff that I didn't understand, specifically what Ag was talking about. Why children? Why do they use children? Which I understand because of his experience that he shared with me. So through learning him and studying him, I learned how they make them into what they are. The fact that he was conceived at the ritual plays a big part into who he is, but at the same time, there takes a lot more than just to be conceived through rape at the ritual. It takes a lot more to make an individual to be this. Okay? To be this kind of, it takes a lot of rape and a lot of abuse and a lot of that stuff. So I feel bad for people like that. I feel sorry because they've been through such a horrific experiences as a children, But because the religious abuse is in the family, it's rooted in the bloodlines. So they have no choice. So like with me, in order for me to heal my ancestral stuff, I had to encounter the very demon that wanted my life. I had to face it. I had to understand what that meant. In order to master yourself, you have to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. That was my biggest lesson last 6 years. I study the enemy in order to win in the spiritual realms, to free myself as an individual soul. Because I have told you guys before the parasitic nature of twin flame bullshit that all of those new agers, they're basically new age. Let's just say it took the all of that stuff and like what's hidden in underneath the Vatican and all of that stuff, and it's all inverted. It's all just kind of like a whatever third hand or whatever thing of the somebody who observed somebody else's path to mastery, and those were all the stories are. But they where am I going with this? But with this people, what they did is they turned it into a dark art and to use it against people. In which way to harvest their energy, harvest their soul energy. And this is why actually ultimately it has to start at the young age. That's why those religions, and there's a lot of religions out there that like to liberate children's sexuality. That's exactly why. Okay? Because they have to all align into that same line, because that's where the bloodline is. Otherwise, it will not survive. So that's the problem. It will not survive, because what happens is, and this is why I say, when you look at the Harvard Society, why they're all gays. This guy, my handler wannabe, totally gay. Because they go through this, and their fathers, and they make them into it. It's on purpose. It's to disconnect or create that disconnect through the feminine thing. It's so convoluted. It's so disgusting. It's so sick. It is so sick the way this whole thing of the energetic sort of vampirism that works. And then they go out there and they need the feminine energy. So the only way they can get it is through siphoning from a female. Mm-hmm. So basically that's how. But see, the thing is, what they don't understand is people, especially because the one that choose the dark path and they go through the dark, and that they are at all of the time, God offers them ability to choose the other path. Rosita, the earth will be free of those people. They will not be able to reincarnate anymore. We already won in the spiritual level. On the spiritual levels, we're already there. We've done it. It's all over with. On the spiritual level, this is why we've seen so much of this sort of inverted reality becoming sort of pushed out to the surface, because it has to kind of neutralize and transform itself on the external and all of that stuff. So and it takes time, and like I always say that I said it years ago, probably it was 2015, Rosita, when I said that at some point this race of whatever humanoid, sort of heartless, soulless beings will not be able to incarnate. They will physically not be able to have the bodies, because right now, in order for them to be here, they have to, let me tell you, look into why Hitler took a lot of Ukrainian women with him. It's for experimentation on children. They were taken for as a baby factories. For what? And through that, to make that special race that's going to be heartless yet has the original DNA that belongs to the earth. So they were trying to create their own sort of bodies, okay, without the Holy Spirit in it, in a way, to where the individual is cut off from the source, is only connected through the collective grid. So anyway, I went way over time, you guys. Yes, it does, and it is a lot of chaos and everything. It's space dusting process. Teresa, yes, I did talk about that in 2016 graft for a new year of 2016. It is the space dusting process, and so the restructuring is starting in right now. We are at that point to where we're gonna start seeing how more powerful the heart living energy is, because we're going to realize that all of this fear-based belief systems will just turn to dust. Okay, that's what it's happening. Thank you, YouTube family, for being here. I really love you. And you guys, in my last video, you have asked me where you can donate. I will put in the description here where I have access, because you guys know I did have a handler. So my blog, my wildwisdomwarriors.blogspot.com, that one is all, everything is connected to the handler. So I don't see any of it. So please do not donate there to my website. It is not, it is only there for evidence purposes. That's all there it's there for. I am going to be totally doing different things, because the only access I have is through my email, which is I'm going to put it in here. And this is the email. If you guys want to send me email, you're welcome to send me email to this address. Okay. I, of course, I am sure that a lot of people are going to send me weird emails, but that's okay. I won't answer those. I just, it is what it is. So I'm going to give you email, and it's the same email or just that handle for my PayPal. If you wanted to donate to my cause, or to donate for my, oh, I'm sorry, or to donate to me for VINO. Tips for VINO. So I can do more VINO Fridays. Anyway, so it's Lila, Lila dot kolosova12 @gmail. Okay, you guys. So that's basically what it is. But so that's my email. You can contact me there for now, and then until I get everything that is actually mine, and it does not, has any entanglements with anybody else. I will. I don't have any access to any other stuff. I don't have Cash App or anything like that. All right, you guys. But I do thank you so much for joining me, and I do thank you for being here with me. And until next time, I will be back Sunday. So Sunday, same time, I will be back for more. Just talking about the process, and just to come out here and tell you guys that it's really, this process is actually beautiful, because the transformation is worth it. Okay. And the elevation of your consciousness is worth it. So here's to all of you. May you have joy in your life, going through anything that you need to go through, and to heal your ancestor bloodline. Let's cheers to that. I love you all. Stay wild. Focus on your ancestors, and focus on you, and be you. Love you all. Mwah. Bye.